Hello academic stars around the world, welcome to Caltex Academy. In case you're new, my name is Julius and thank you for joining us today. On our board, we have a question that says, find the area of the pink cycle. And we know for you to get an area of a given cycle, we just need the radius. But when we take a look at our pink cycle here, we realize that we don't have any radius. So that becomes a little bit challenge. Before I move on to analyze this question, if you have not subscribed to Caltex Academy, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and punch that magical subscription button and it will simply disappear. By disappearing, it means you are already a full member of Caltex Academy and you are one of the academic stars. If that sounds great, now let's dive into the video and we start with our analysis. So when we take a look, we have this diameter of the bigger semicycle, which is providing a tangent to our pink cycle. We will have to draw a line from the center of the cycle to touch our tangent. And we said it's meeting at 90 degrees. Now what do we do with this property? What we have to do is to generate a right angle triangle and use Pythagoras theorem. Now let's move on and we do that. So meaning we need to join this point to this point. Again, by doing that, we can get our ruler and we adjust until the ruler is fine and we will join these 2 points together. But before I remove off this ruler, you can see that from the center here up to this end is the radius of the big semicycle. Now if this is the diameter 20 centimeters, meaning here we have 10 centimeters. And any distance from the center to the circumference of this point is always the radius. Therefore, taking advantage of that, we can extrapolate this line to touch our circumference of this big cycle. Then we generate our next radius. So let's indicate this radius here, and that is 10 centimeter. So meaning somewhere here is also what? 10 centimeter. We are shorted with this, meaning the distance from here up to here is the same as 10. Now if it is 10, then we also know that from the center of this pink up to this point here, we have generated certain radius. That is what we are looking for. Also this one is the radius. Now we need to subtract this radius away from the total radius of that big semicycle in order for us to get this distance from here up to there, and that becomes the hypotenuse of our right angle triangle. So let's say this is 10 minus r. What is the distance here? From this point, maybe for us to see clearly, let's use a different color. So from this point here, after this, we'll have a certain distance. We can mark it as x. So x is here, and that becomes the base of this right angle triangle. Now given this information, we can move on and get this radius using Pythagoras theorem. But before we do that, as you can see, we have x here and we have r. So there are 2 unknowns, meaning we need to have 2 equations. So how do we get the second equation? When you take a look at this pink cycle, it has intersected with our semicycle inside here. And there must be a point of contact, meaning that point of contact, if we draw a line from this center to the center of our pink cycle, it will form a straight line. Therefore, based on that, we can move on and take our ruler. We also estimate a straight line there, and let's adjust it well. I think here is looking somehow fairer. Now let's draw this line to join this. So you can see that at this point, we have the point of intersection and it is in a straight line. The distance from here to here is the radius of this small semicycle. Now if this is the diameter of the semicycle, meaning here this is the radius and radius is half of the diameter. Half of 10 is 5. So we have here 5 centimeter. We already know that the distance from this point up to the center here is the radius r. So the hypotenuse here becomes r plus 5. Now again, when you take a look at this point here, that is the center, then we can extrapolate this as 5 centimeter for the radius of our small semicircle. Now why do we write this one here? So that we shall be able to get this distance from the center of our semicircle to where the 90 degrees is to form another bigger right angle triangle that we may use to also get another equation, since there are two unknowns here. And this hypotenuse is 5 plus r, height remains r, and the base for the bigger triangle is 5 plus x. We go ahead and start working, starting with the right angle triangle. The hypotenuse also is square, so x square plus r square, this must give us 10 minus r square. So let's expand that, maintaining our x square here plus our r square equals, so expanding this bracket, we'll have here 10 square, that is 100, and we multiply all these terms together, therefore we get minus 20 r, and squaring the last term we get plus r square. Now we can see that this r square will cancel with the r square here. We'll have here our x square equals 100 minus 20 r. Let's call this equation number 1. Okay, to get equation number 2, we're going to use our next bigger right angle triangle. So the hypotenuse is 5 plus r, and the base is 5 plus x. So let's go ahead and do that. So getting our square of the hypotenuse, where we have 5 plus r, we'll square that. This must give us the square of the height, and our height is r square, and the square of the base. The square of the base is 5 plus x, and of course we have to square here. Now let's expand these two sides, so r square plus, expanding that we have 25, then multiplying all together we have plus 10x, and finally squaring the last term we get x square. Now on this side we also do the same thing, 25 also, we add these two, when we multiply this by 2 and r we get 10 r, and finally multiplying this by itself we get our r square. Therefore our r here will cancel, and you also see that 25 is common on both sides, so it cancels off, and we rewrite the remaining terms. So our remaining terms from this side is only 10 r, and this is equals to, here we have 10 x plus x square, and let's call this equation number 2. Now since we have two equations, then we can do something here. We need to make this equation in terms of r. We can take this to the other side and bring this here. So let's move on and do that. So we're gonna have here 20 r, and this is equals to 100 has remained in the same place, and let's join x square to this side, it changes to negative x square. Now from here, let's look at also doing the same thing to this equation here. We need to multiply this equation by 2 in order for us to obtain something here, and let's have this as also 20 r equals to, multiplying 10x by 2 we get 20x, and also multiplying this by 2 we get plus 2x square. So after making the left hand side the same, meaning we're gonna equate these two equations. Let me start from equation number 2, and we have 20x plus 2x squared equals, this side we have 100 minus x squared. Let us move on and rearrange this equation, bringing all these terms to one side. Starting with the leading term, have here 2x squared plus x squared plus 20x. Then also join this to the left hand side and we have minus 100. This is equals to 0. Combining that, we have 3x squared plus 20x minus 100 equals 0. So we have reached a nice quadratic equation. We can move on and solve this quadratic equation using any method of our choice. So let me just go ahead and use formula method, where our a equals 3, b equals 20, and c equals negative 100. So from here, our equation says x equals to negative b plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. Now making substitution, our value for b is positive, so this one is negative, meaning everything goes to negative. 20 plus or minus square root of 20 square minus 4 times a is 3 and c is negative 100. So let's divide this by 2 times a, and our a is also 3. So we can move on and continue simplifying this. We're going to have here negative 20 plus or minus, in bracket the square of 20 is 400. Now we have negative times negative, that is positive, and 4 times 3, that is 12. 12 times 100 is 1200. So we're gonna divide this by 6. Now summing up this, we're gonna have negative 20 still here, plus or minus, this adds to 1600, and here is divided by 6. So the square root of 1600 is 40. So let's do that, and we copy our first term here, that is negative 20 plus or minus 40. And remember, we have two answers here, but one is obviously not valid. Therefore, the positive solution will be obtained using our upper sign here, that is addition. Then we have here 40, and we divide this by 6. So when you add negative 20 plus 40, we simply get what? Positive 20. Remember, the one with negative is going to look like our negative 20 minus 40. So all this sum to negative. Now when you add that, of course, you get negative 60 divided by 6. And you simply get here negative 10. So no length are measured in negative, so this is not a valid solution. Now we're going to leave this one here aside and move on with the valid one here, that is 20 divided by 6. So when we reduce this down by 2, we have 10 over 3. Now that is the value for x. So when we take a look at the expression we had earlier on here, we can see that in this equation number 1 maybe, and we wrote another version of this equation, then here we can move on and take this version of this equation to find our value for r. Our value for x we have just gotten here is 10 over 3. Now taking this, our r can be obtained by having 100 minus x square divided by 20. To remove this 20 away to get exactly r. So let's make that substitution, and we have 100 minus our 10 over 3, and this is squared, and you divide this by 20. So simplifying further, we're going to have here our r equals 100 minus, when we square that, we get also 100 over square root denominator, we get 9 over 20. And here we can say this is over 1. And to make it easy, we just need to have the same number here. So let's multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the first term by 9, such that we have here 900 over 9. Then we subtract away 100 over 9. And the whole thing is also over 20. Now let me switch colors in order for us not to get confused with our previous work, and we have our r equals. So here we simply subtract 900 minus 100, we have 800 over common denominator 9, and we are dividing this by 20, and this 20 we can put it over 1, therefore 800, okay, let's first maintain this, over 9 will be multiplied by 1 over 20. So this 20 can reduce this by, okay, one of this 0 has gone, so 8 by 2 is 4, and we have that 0. We're going to have 40, our r is equals 40 over 9. Therefore, we can now move on and find the area of our pink circle. Area of our pink circle, pi r square. So let's multiply this one here by the value for r, which was 40 over 9, and this is squared. So if we square this, we get 1600 over, when we square 9, we get 81, and this is pi. That becomes the accurate answer. But if we also need this in a decimal form, we get our result as 62.05615118. So that is the area. Perhaps we need to round it to maybe 2 decimal places and say therefore the area of that pink circle is the same as 62.06, and that is a square centimeter. If I've made it up to this far, thank you for watching, and then let's meet again in our next upcoming videos. Peace out.